Hello, fellow students and everyone else who has joined us today. I do have my speech hidden from screen because naturally, as a historian, I am prone to forgetfulness. But first off, a big congratulations to everyone graduating this year in what seems like one of the most turbulent periods our year group has ever seen. I would also like to say a big thank you to the history department for all the hard work they've put in over the last 3 years, and particularly over the last couple of months in order to help us graduate. Special thanks to Antonia, our wonderful student experience officer, and Matthew Francis as a head of education. I would also like to make some personal shout-outs to some of the academics who have made such a massive impact on me over my time at university. So first off to David Gange, who showed me that there was way more to history than mere facts of events. Secondly, to Richard Cust, who proved to me once and for all why the 17th century is the greatest of them all. I know, very controversial view. I'd also like to thank Simone and Matthew Francis, who were very supportive personal tutors, and also to Lauren Wainwright, who very much acted as a unofficial personal tutor. But yeah, it's one of the big reasons why I've decided to remain here to undertake my postgraduate studies is because of the academics who I had the pleasure to study under. So naturally, given my love of history, many of my highlights came within the classroom. So obviously, HTP was a real eye-opener. Richard Cust's English Civil War Special Subjects module was great, as was Noah Millstone's module on political action and thought in early modern Europe, and Jonathan Wallace's Tudor Reformation module. I've just realised I'm basically listing you my whole degree, and I've forgotten about my dissertation, which was on the Cromwellians. I've got Cromwell right here. And obviously that was fantastic because it was the 17th century and we all did. The 17th century is great. Outside of the classroom, I would say my highlights came in third year. So I thought it was in this year where I was able to develop real close friendships that I'm undoubtedly sure will remain with me after university. I wouldn't mind name dropping them all, but I really don't think they would be able to handle the fame the same way the academics can. I also got way more involved in extracurricular activities in third year, particularly in regards to History Society. So one of my close friends organised this weekly charity activity where a group of us would go out and support an organisation called Let's Feed Brum, who basically support the homeless community in Birmingham by providing food and other stuff like clothes and toiletries, etc. And I found that super rewarding. And obviously the History Society put on a really good history ball in the summer term, which was great. So yeah, third year was definitely one hell of a year for me. It's going to sound really sad, but I think the thing I will most miss about university, well, I'm not going to miss it that much because I'm going to be back there in September, but it's definitely the library. Like, it became a second home for me, as all my close friends will know. And the library cafe do the most amazing chai latte. I mean, it made me feel a tad bourgeois, but it was definitely worth it. To be fair, I think I've left the most important thing to say till last. So as history students at UOB, I really think that we have found ourselves in privileged positions. That's not to say that we don't deserve, or it's not to our credit that we were able to study here at the university. But for 3 years, we've been able to learn about the human condition, and obviously the human condition is fascinating. It is in many ways wonderful. Significant achievements have been made in science, political representation. We've learned about individuals and societies who attacked discrimination and promoted values so dear to us. Individuals and societies that resisted oppression, alleviated differences, and celebrated toleration. But then at the same time, I feel like we've begun to learn and understand how brutal and corrupt and unjust the world was, and in many ways has helped to shed a light on how unjust the world is today. I really think it would be naive of us to believe that we have moved forward or progressed in all aspects. As historians, we've gained numerous transferable skills that are vital for our future endeavours. I don't really think I need to mention those. But as historians, we've been able to gather unique insight into the ills of society. We understand better than many people the mechanisms at work that place barriers in front of people. Issues regarding race, gender, sexuality and class that we've learnt about are just as prevalent now as they were 50, 100, 150 years ago. Only over the last couple of months have we had the Black Lives Matter movement, the sexual harassment found in the gaming industry, the issue of transphobia involving one of our well-known childhood authors, and the effect of COVID-19 on the most vulnerable segments of our society. And many of us will obviously go on to achieve great things, I'm really sure about that, in a host of careers. And we're naturally going to find ourselves in positions of responsibility. We're going to go on to become bankers, financiers, marketers, publishers, writers, academics, lawyers, managers, and politicians. But I really think we have an obligation to do everything we can to alleviate as best we can the ills of our society and to support those in less fortunate positions. So don't forget the lessons we have learned, and thank you and congratulations to the class of 2020.